about that. But he said the reason that she charged me so much is because she helped me bring the groceries in the house. So they charged me $55 for my shopping. And of course, we're not talking anymore. Now this is my Aunt Sue and Aunt Ruby. This is Lavera's. My Aunt Ruby was a very well-known woman in the community. She did a lot for as far as feeding people, clothing them, helping pay rent. They had an organization called United Progress Association, and it was supposed to try to keep black money in the black communities because we were struggling so much. And she tried. The mayor knew her, came to her funeral, and all kind of other aldermen and people in the neighborhood because she made a lot of people. She made the mayor and a lot of people who they are today. Now, this is my Lavera's Mount Ruby called Lavera her granddaughter because Ruby was married to Lavera's grandfather, but she died in the care of Lavera too. Uh, this is Curly, my sister-in-law. 2 years ago, she went to the store. Well, this is when the harassers was telling me that they'll take my family and things that happen to my family. My sister-in-law, Carolyn, vanished 2 years ago. Police never made any police reports. Nobody investigated to find out where she was. She loved my brother. She wouldn't have never left my brother, her kids, and her grandbabies. She's still missing. Okay? Well, so my Ruby, my Sue, they're both dead. Vera from being around here, she's still, and Carolyn is missing. Been missing for 2 years. Now, before my Aunt Ruby died, excuse me, she told me that Lavera was cheap, but she said that me and Vera had a really close relationship that she was glad that we had because we weren't jealous of each other. We got along pretty good. Let me get my other phone so I can go in the room. Ooh, they wear me down. Coming back and forth around my house. Now this hot truck here, that is the same truck that the guy that threw the beer can in it. Because I just went in the kitchen, and every time I go in the kitchen, the pain in my back will lessen up. So I did it 2 times to see that why every time I come in the living room, the pain was greater. And the second time I came, I knew it was coming from this truck, and he pulled it off. But now he's back. And the reason I knew it was the same truck because on the video about him throwing a beer can at me, I liked those lights. And when he pulled it off, I saw those with the pretty lights I like. So we already got a picture of who he is driving that truck. But I'm trying to see if they still sending the car. I don't know. But he is the same guy that threw the beer can because he got those pretty lights. So me and Vera had got close. And I gotta lay down while I do this. We got close. And we went everywhere. Her birthday is the 14th, June 14th. My birthday is June 15th. And she seemed to be looking out for me. Now, even though she has a very big house in Cayman City, a beautiful house by the water. And she doesn't work most of the time because sometimes she says she's retired. Excuse me. Sometimes she says she works part-time. They just mess with me now. Sometimes she says she works part-time. But she seems to be doing a lot of willing and dealing. Now, Mrs. Vera is a hospice nurse. She deal with people who dying all the time. And even though my target is in, like, I was very suspicious of the doctors and nurses I have been dealing with for these past few years because of things that were going on. Not seeing the corruption in the medical system. Me and not being able to see a doctor, or when I did, they were giving me wrong medication, or if they didn't give me wrong medication, they didn't want to give me any at all, or they gave me something that looked like a placebo that did not work. So, so I still did not, since I saw all the corruption in the medical field. I did not still think that Vera was involved. I thought there were just pockets of corruption, just small pockets of certain people that they were putting in front of me, putting up front to deal with me, and that everybody else, the majority of people, were good, good. They didn't have any knowledge of what was going on, and that's what I thought about Vera. I thought she was one of the people who was working in the medical field that had no idea excuse me, what was happening with this corruption in the system. So, as I told you, people were coming in here destroying things. Then I got a letter from a person that said he was from the CIA, and that was one of my angels. Since they were trying to claim that I was crazy and nothing was coming up missing in my household, and things weren't happening. The letter that my friend sent me from CIA was to establish that something was going on. Like I said, because the email that I got from supposed to be CIA services, said things that were going on in my house that no one should have known about unless they were in my house. Like me boarding my windows and doors. In the email that said, well, uh, uh, you can't hide from us. Whether we got something in your house, and whether you board your windows or doors, it won't stop us. Now I showed the girl this email. She claimed it was nothing to it. It was just somebody playing with me. And she'd investigated, but I never heard anything back. But I kept telling her things that was going on. And the apartment upstairs is vacant. So I would tell her that I was hearing footsteps upstairs. And she would say, no, ain't nobody upstairs. So she changed the locks upstairs. But now to think of it, she didn't change the locks for me upstairs. She changed the lock for somebody else getting in. But since I told her, now, the logic is, if I told you somebody's coming in my apartment and destroying things and tearing up things, why would you change the locks to the vacant apartment? Why wouldn't you change the locks on my doors? You understand what I'm saying? She didn't do it. So, her aunt, Louise, I thought me and her were really close. So, me and her talked a lot. And she had a guy named Larry staying with him, his girlfriend Rhonda, and they had a little girl named Pearl too. Her name was Jemiah Pearl. And my grandson name is Jemiah. So the way things was happening, every time she was having issues with the bank beat her out of some money. So I had to go and defend her honor. But every time she needed to do something, and she was seeming to be going through the same things I was going through at times. She was tired all the time. Looked like when I tried to call her, she couldn't answer the phone. She was asleep. And she was telling me, she said, well, Larry just could fix me something to eat. And she would be knocked out. And see, I knew that Larry and them, the way they were reacting about things that were necessary. And that's what I say when people come into your life and they drag their feet, and certain incidents start happening uh, um, with them there. Uh, like when he's feeding her, and all of a sudden she can't talk, she's sleeping all day, or she have appointments that she need to take care of, like that bank incident, where all of a sudden they can't take her there to correct it. And see, I suspected that they were had got, but she told me that Larry was her nephew. So uh, Larry called me and told me, because I got this extra bedroom. He called me and told me he needed a place to stay. Can you move in? And I told him no, because I got that food storage in there. I said my rooms are too full with food and stuff. I don't want to try to move all that stuff around. I said no, I just don't have room. So she called me. She said, "Well, Pearl," she said, "my nephew and his baby and them, they really, really need a place to stay. Can they stay with you for a while until they find a place?" So they came over here. Uh, she didn't tell me why when she called me what she wanted. She said, "Well, Pearl, I'm coming over." And when she got here, Larry, and that's when she begged me to let them stay until they find a place. Now they stayed, and he told me that he didn't have any money, but he got his check on the 24th, and when he got his check, he would give me $300, and they were going to move out $300 for staying here. So him, his girlfriend, and Jemiah, they moved in now. Number one, I knew that they were uh, in this little clique. I already knew. I knew exactly what they were up to. But something had God had put it on my heart to let them come on in anyway. Sometimes you have to give your enemy a chance to see can you bring him the right way. So I went on and let them move in, even though I knew they were the enemy. And all of a sudden, now these people get so close to you, they act like uh, they're like their emotions are so genuine, and this what gets most people. This is why most people don't realize that the people that supposed to be loving them is really victimizing them, because they can make their emotions seem so real and so genuine. So when you're looking at them, they could tell you a lie straight to your face, and you will believe it even though your head says something wrong with that picture. But they just expressions on their faces and the way they say it, just how could you doubt it? How could you doubt what they say? So I let him move on in, and uh, he he had a little part time job, and she had the job working. See, that's what I'm saying, because all of them were working for these organizations or companies that I knew were harassing people, and for that bus service. So uh, every time I needed to, I still don't have a car, and they had a car, and every time I needed to do something, they could not take me. They could not do it. They were, they think, they could not let me do this. Or they did let me use the car a few times, because I'd never used a person's car without putting gas in it. And they did let me a few times. And things were being sabotaged in my house. That was the first time I had food spoilages in my canning pot, in my canning. All of a sudden, my food started being getting cans start smelling. My jar started smelling there. So I was winding out throwing my shrimps I had canned away, and other things I had canned away. And I've never had that problem before. And I was buying bleach for uh, SHIT situations, because bleach, if you put a couple of drops of bleach in water, it'll purify it. So I was buying gallons of bleach and storing it in the room um, to to use for storage. I mean, for purification. And I was using a little bit myself because my water was messed up at the time. I was using the bleach process. And what happened was I knew I was on the right track because I was putting a couple of drops in my water. I boiled the water and put a couple of drops of bleach, and I was using that as my drinking water. But I would still have to filter it out because you could see all the uh, sediment in the water. So even though I boiled it and put a couple of drops of bleach in it, I still had to filter out all the sediment. So all of a sudden, I went to use my bleach, and there was no bleach in the bottle. They had put water in it. They put water in the bleach bottle. So I go to my stash that I have in my closet in the room for my storage, and every one of the bottles of bleach had been opened and filled with water. Now, this is before they got here. So I figured even if they was here, with somebody being here, when I'm gone sometimes, it would help to keep these people from coming in here. So I bought another bottle of bleach. And I go to use it, and it's open. Now, I hadn't went anywhere, and the only people here was them. So I asked what happened, who opened the bleach, because it had water in it. And she said she didn't do it. Rhonda said she didn't do it. She said she didn't open the bleach. So I was going to have a problem because I was saying, now, well, how could y'all be here and the bleach got open and nobody knew it? So Larry spoke up and said, well, Rhonda opened it. She admitted to me she opened it, but she forgot. Now, you told him you opened it, but you forgot to tell me you opened it. You denied knowing anything about it. Okay, but there was a lot. Oh, another thing that was a clear sign that these people uh, were up to something. They would like to cook for me. Now, I knew already Louise was saying that it would put her to sleep. So I'm on watch. I tried to call myself trying to watch. But uh, he would cook. He cooked me a sandwich once to make me a hamburger sandwich. And it had some miracle mayonnaise some on it. I told him I don't like mayonnaise. He said, don't put that on my sandwich. I don't want that. And he said, okay. So I threw the sandwich in the oven. So the next time he cooked something else and had the mayonnaise. I said, I thought I told you don't put, I didn't like that. Oh, I forgot. So I didn't eat that either. So one time he cooked something really, really simple to cook. And I ate it. And it made me violently sick. I threw up all in the bathroom. Now, his girlfriend, and Jemiah, his daughter. Jemiah about 6. Uh, when I walked past the room, I heard him tell Rhonda, now she's going to think we poisoned her. Now, my thing is, you got this little child in the room with you. And everything you do around here and every move you make, you can't help but talk around her. She knows everything you're doing. So, he would buy food, but he'd take their food in the room. Now, they didn't have any food when they got here. I had boxes of cereal, all kind of stuff, and they went through it and ate all of it up. But when he got his money, he bought food and took it and he put it in the bedroom. So I approached him about that. I said, now, you, Rhonda, and I fed y'all for the time I was here, and you go buy food and you put your food in the bedroom. Now, I should have suspected something about that. Funny was about that, too. Because, number one, they wouldn't eat anything I cooked. If I fixed breakfast, sausage, bacon, grits, eggs, they would not eat anything I cooked. And then I heard him one time telling Jemiah, don't eat her food, don't eat nothing from her. So what I found out was he knew that they knew my food was being contaminated. But to keep his from being, to keep his safe, they kept their food in their bedroom. In the bedroom, they And when I heard when Jemiah told me that they say she can't eat nothing of mine, no cookies, no candy, nothing. She couldn't eat anything from me. Now, why would the cookies? I didn't cook the cookies or the candy. Why could she not eat that? But they told her don't eat anything I have. So one time, me and Jemiah was talking because I love kids. I love them, love them, and they take a liking to me. And she told me she was going to hell, and it broke my heart because I know that with them talking in the room and like these ones across the street and all around on this block, they're sending her to the same thing that these people in my neighborhood are sending their children to. They're not giving them a chance to be children because kids, God put in the spirit of us to know right and wrong. And we always watch the movies and we always root for the hero. We want the hero to win. So with the message that we get in books and fairy tales, we always rooting for the good guy, for the victim. We always see over and over again, and it's instilled in us to do right, to not to hurt people. That is something that God instilled in us. So with her listening to what they doing in their room, what they talk about in their room, and what they were doing, making her do, she felt she was going to hell. That she did not have a chance on going to heaven, that she would not be forgiven, and that what she was doing was wrong. And I told her, I said, Jemiah, you're not going to hell. I said, don't say that. She said, yes, I am. She said, I'm going to hell. Now, these little kids around here in this area, too, they want to be children. They want to be children. But these things who won't let them be. That's why God got to come back. He said he's going to take all these babies off this earth. He's going to take all the children. Now, one thing that I heard that all children can be saved. There are kids in hell. And even if you don't want to do what's right, at least love your people that's supposed to be your legacy enough to give them a chance for them to go to heaven, for them not to go to hell. You see what I'm saying? So how could you possibly love your children if you set them up to be criminals? If you set them up to harass somebody? And these kids know that they're torturing me. They do. They do. They call me. They've called me bitch. They said fuck me. I'm telling you, these kids are something. They're not kids anymore. Now, some of them might not be kids at all. I don't know. But uh, these are not children. Their childhood has been taken away from them. And if they started this early age of not being concerned for their fellow man, for them to be able to harass somebody, to torture somebody, even though to the point of death, what have you raised? Do you think these same children that you raised to harm others will not harm you? Of course they will. They don't have any loyalty. They can't trust you because everything they see you do is not the good guy. You're the villain. So if you're a villain and you can do everything to everybody else, they don't trust you either. So that brings me back to Miss Rivera. Oh, let me get rid of Larry and them first. But Jemima said she was going to hell. Now Larry stayed here that month, and he said he was going to get his check on the. He was moving. Both of them working. He was going to get his check on. When he told me he was going to get it on the 24th, he said, "You give me the $300 for them staying here a month." And so there's three people with $300. I thought that was more than fair. And he said he didn't get his check. So I was over my cousin's house, and she said, "Well, you know, she said everybody got their check yesterday." And I was steamed. That was the 26th. He said he was supposed to get his on the 24th. But she said he got him on the 25th. So he got his check and didn't even tell me. So I got here. I came back home. I said, Larry, did you get your check? No. And let me tell you. I'm going to tell you about them being so convincing. He said, bro, I can't believe you came to me like that. He said, you know I would let you know if I got that money. She said, I don't know why everybody else got mine. Theirs, but I didn't get mine. Now I said, man, Larry, I'm sorry. I shouldn't accuse you of getting your check. Because he was so convincing. He lied through his teeth. He lied through his teeth. So I told him if he didn't have the money, this was a couple days later. If he didn't have the money, he gonna get out. So he played some games. I had to get the little money for him, but I had to put him out the same day. Put him, because I get home, he didn't move in his mom in. His mom, his daughter, his girlfriend. I said, no, this ain't gonna work. Cause number one, y'all supposed to be found a place. So I told him to get out. Now that's another story. That's a funny story, but I ain't gonna tell it right now. Cause I want to move on to me and Miss Libera. Let me see how many minutes I've been on anyway. Oh, I've been on almost half an hour. But uh, while Larry was here, uh, we would hear footsteps upstairs. So I didn't know. I really didn't hear footsteps in my room. Uh, I don't hear a lot of noise. It must not. I hear it quick every now and then. But in the other room, you could hear him walking upstairs real good. In the hallway, in the kitchen, in the living room, you can hear him walking real good. So Larry said him and Rhonda was laying down, and he said he heard some footsteps upstairs. Now, like I tell you, the apartment's supposed to be vacant. So uh, uh, I said, well, let's go check. So when we walked upstairs, we went through the back door and walked upstairs. We didn't hear anything, so we came back. And I said, I knew somebody was upstairs. That's why they probably kept coming in here because they're upstairs. So it happened twice. And then third time I called Lavera, I said, Lavera, I said, me and Larry hear them footsteps upstairs. I say, uh, we want to go confront them. And she said, no. She said, don't confront them. She said, call the police and let the police go up there and look. So I said, well, if the door locked, the police can't get in. I told her, I said, well, what you need to do is give me a key. So when we get no upstairs, we can go check it out. She said, no, no, don't confront them. So uh, I don't remember. We didn't hear that for a while. But Jonathan had came by to fix something upstairs. He was preparing the apartment for somebody to move in, fixing it up. And Larry heard the footsteps, so he took the baseball bat and ran out there to see who it was that was upstairs. And it was Jonathan. Now, Jonathan knew that Larry confronted him. Lavera knew because Jonathan told him. And I also told Lavera that somebody was upstairs. Now, she had been denying that somebody was coming in here. She had been denying that anything was happening, that maybe it was my imagination. Um, but when Larry's here and he co-signed that uh, him and Rhonda heard the footsteps, uh, I think that's when she changed the locks or whatever it was. But like I said, I had to get rid of him. Now, since things were happening, and when I got the email from the person that's supposed to be in the CIA, my homie from Wyoming, because if it weren't for that, they would have kept saying that I was crazy. And that Larry heard the footsteps upstairs. So the girl said, "Well, you said she got the email." She said, and Larry heard the footsteps. She said, "Well, to make things right," she said, "to make sure that these police they not doing them," because I had called the police a few times about the footsteps upstairs. Now, one time I called the officer and I told him that somebody was upstairs, and he came, and I was in the hallway, and he went into the apartment. I heard him saying, "Is anybody here? In here?" Now, I asked, I said, "Well, how did he get into the apartment? Because he shouldn't have had a key." So I asked the bureau, I told the bureau, I said, "Well, the police did come." He said, "Well, nobody in there." Because I heard his footsteps walking up there in the apartment. But I asked the bureau, "How did he get in?" She said she don't know, but she was going to check it out. She was going to call the police department and check it out, find out how did he get in that apartment. Because, see, I knew the door was locked because I check it all the time. So I knew the door was locked. So when he went up there, I knew the door was locked. For some reason, she never found out how the police got in that apartment. So she told me, interfering to keep me from talking. She told me to go see a psychiatrist. She said, "We're going to set up an appointment with a psychiatrist. So, um, in case they're going to say that I must be losing my mind, that we'll have a clean bill of health from a psychiatrist. Um, that the police can't say that you were hallucinating." So I said, "Fine." So I let her set me up an appointment. She took me to Oak Forest Hospital, and they set me in with Dr. Hall. So a month later, I was supposed to see Dr. Hall in June. So on my birthday, June 15th. So I went to see Dr. Hall, and I was upstairs talking to her. And for some reason, I got very suspicious of Dr. Hall. Because number one, she had a lot of information about me that she shouldn't have had. She knew about my hospitalization in Elgin Hospital. She knew, even though I didn't have no medications, when I took my last medication, she knew the last time I filled a prescription. She knew exactly what all my prescriptions were. She knew just too much information about me. But when you meet a doctor for the first time and she's never seen you before, had any information about you, how would she get all that information? So my ears perked up when she told me the last time I had filled a prescription. My ears perked up. Now I'm suspicious of her. So the Vera was downstairs and she had dropped me off in Winter Park. So when Miss Vera come upstairs, she come upstairs and the doctor said, "Well, Miss Nelson, how is your cousin reacting?" Then she turned around and said, "Doctor, the family is worried about her. We are worried about her. She has been saying that people coming into the apartment we know, and there's no evidence. She's saying that claims that the CIA sent her an email." And I'm looking at her. How is this coming out? Did you set me up to be locked up telling this doctor? Oh, she say, "Oh, she got enough food in that apartment to feed her army. She's storing food everywhere. That apartment." Wow. I'm looking at her. But let me tell you, God is. She couldn't have done a thing. Because God had his hands in it. Because with everything she said about me, I was just looking at her. And then she said, when the doctor said, "Well, how is she now? What do you think her, is it, well, mental status now. Then Lavera say, well, we think she getting better. Because I looked at Lavera. I said, Lavera, Larry told you he heard them footsteps upstairs. I said, you saw the email. But you going to say I'm hallucinating? Well, there's no evidence of anybody coming in your apartment. And you could have sent that email to yourself. Wow. So, I was so angry with her. But God wasn't going to let them take me. God wasn't going to let them take me. Because they were prepared to take me that day. God wasn't going to let them take me. And I told myself, as soon as I get downstairs, I'm going to cuss out. I'm going to cuss out. But God put it in my spirit, let it go. So I let it go. I never told her how angry I was about the setup. That was the first sign to let me know something was wrong. For her to set me up with an appointment with a psychiatrist and then say everything to get me committed. That was the first time I knew something was wrong. But I let it go. Shortly after that, July, every time I would ask her for something, she could not do it. Everything going downhill in my apartment. Can't fix this. Lights go out. Can't fix this. Blowing TV every time. My food, I can't cook to prepare the food that I'm dehydrated and canning. Something going wrong. They destroying all my appliances, my blenders, my ninjas, my anything that I was using, my egg slicers, anything that I could use to prepare food was being systematically torn up. I was replacing things over and over again to prepare food. And I told her this. The dishwasher went down. Because since I was cooking so much, I depended on a dishwasher so I can keep my jars clean for canning, and I can keep washing things up, and then go from one thing to another. Just keep going. But the dishwasher went down, and she never repaired it. Now the dishwasher been down for a year. And this would trips me out. Housing say, Miss Hodges says on the recording, go get a lawyer to get that dishwasher fixed. Isn't that remarkable? So they still not gonna make her come in here and do the necessary things so my kitchen could be a functioning kitchen. That mold is still under that sink. That mold from all the months of rotting wood coming under the sink, that mold is still there. I've showed you video of how black my skin and my feet are. There's pictures and video of how this water is contaminated. But Miss Hodges says, get a lawyer to get a dishwasher fixed. You are housing Section 8, and you want me to get a lawyer when it's your job to do that? When these landlords do not do the things they're supposed to do, you're supposed to stop paying their rent. But you tell me to get a lawyer for a dishwasher? Really? And they called me today. And then I tried to call back. Couldn't even get a voicemail. Couldn't even leave a message. That phone does not accept telephone calls. Wow. And that's supposed to be Chicago housing? No one will believe how corrupted all of our systems are now. Anything that was supposed to be in place to help people, these supposed to be the catch-22 or nets is supposed to catch us to keep us from falling through the crack. There is nothing there. There is nothing in place to keep us from falling through the crack. No net, no safety net, nothing. They are taking systematically everything, every dollar, every right, everything they can take from us. And we have sit back so long and let them take little bitty pieces at a time. Little bitty pieces at a time. And we don't stand up because some of the things that were happening were not happening to us. As long as it was happening to somebody else, nobody wanted to get into the fight because it was happening to somebody else. But the thing is, when stuff starts happening to you, then you want to talk about it. I think I saw that video of that story a long time ago where uh, they said first they start taking the teachers and nobody said nothing. Then they start taking the Christians. No, I'm making it up. I'm just putting names in there and nobody said nothing. And then they start taking the scientists and shutting down the scientists and nobody said nothing. But then they came for you. And that's what we've been doing. It's like when I saw them targeting individuals marching in Washington, D.C. I saw people asking people, telling their families, and this is it with my family. All the other targeted individuals go through the same thing. We talk to our families over and over again until we blew in the face. And I thought it was just because my family was not concerned. Went to like talking with Libera. I told her I was a targeted individual. And I'm thinking, well, they just don't want to take the time to look up this information and I'm talking to them about. They just don't want to, they're not concerned enough for me to my Aunt Barbara, my daughter Amanda, my son Anthony, my sisters now, my brothers. I have talked to them over and over again. They have seen proof over and over again. I have asked them for help. Even when they came in here and destroyed this apartment so much that threw everything all over, my sisters and them, my brothers and them came here and they seen all this stuff. They know I always kept my house in order. And I asked them to come and help me. To come put this stuff back in order. I even told my sister, stop. I said, stop. How much you charge? Because she does the cleaning service sometimes. I said, how much do you charge an hour to clean? She said, $20 an hour. I said, I'll give you $60. 3 hours. Just come and help me get this place in order. Because the way they do me, they make me tired. They target me. They torture me so bad I just can't do it all and try to keep up with other stuff. God's business come first. I'm always going to try to keep preparing things for his sheep. And that's where your priorities are sometimes. Sometimes you got to choose where your priorities are. My priority is not keeping this house clean anymore. And the thing about that is, I used to I never liked chaos. I had to have everything in order. And I think this is part of my test. I had to have everything in place so I knew exactly what was where, when I could put my hand on it. If you could ask me for anything in my house, I could tell you exactly where it was. Because I always kept it in a certain spot. Everything. It would make me frustrated if my house was not in order. And them knowing all about me, they know this. They knew this. That's why that plan was to come and keep my house all tore up. But God said, don't worry about that house. Your priority is still to function, to get the things you need, to keep preparing the necessary things to feed my sheep and take care of my sheep. And that's why they keep coming in here trying to destroy the food sources, breaking up things like the mirrors that I buy for people to use. So they like the other things I buy. Now they know I'm not going to use these things, but they come in here and destroy them anyway. They keep me from buying stuff to help other people. To keep people from using the things I buy, they destroy them. How evil can you be? Well, you don't even know the people that's going to use these things, and you don't want them to have it. That is total evil. But as I said, I thought my family was just being lazy and wasn't concerned enough to helped me find out what's going on to give me any help, and just wasn't listening. And come to find out, they were into it too. It hurt me like it hurt me about Libera. And then I went to my brother and sister and them and told them about Libera, and they agreed with me, and they act like they were shocked. And come to find out, all of them were tied in on the same thing. All of them were tied in. It's like I'm on a different planet. It's like these people that are around me, I don't even know. But the downfall for Miss Libera was my aunt died in 2000. My aunt Sue, the one I showed you the picture of earlier, we still don't know why she died. She died in 2011. At the day of the big storm in February, because I was there at the hospital when she died, and it stormed that day. We had that big storm, and now even though she had been dead, she died at 3 o'clock that morning. I was stuck at the hospital till 12 o'clock noon because of the snow. But I was always concerned about my Aunt Sue's death that day because she's in the hospital bed, and for some reason it looks like she was struggling, like something had her and she was struggling. And I was sitting there because I just wanted to be. I was there when my other aunt died too, and I was sitting there and I fell off to sleep. And then a male nurse woke me up. He said she passed. Now I thought about it. I'm looking at him now y'all been here all the time. If she was passing, why didn't y'all wake me up and let me know she was dying? Why didn't y'all wake me up? Because you're standing right here. You see me sitting right here because they were standing there. If I nodded off, why didn't you not wake me up since I'm sitting right by her bedside and let me know she was dying? But he woke me up. Him and the other nurse woke me up and said she was dead. Now, they had to know with all that equipment on her, if something was going on, if she was close to death, I'm sitting right there, they should have woke me up to let me be with her. And still, I don't know what the cause of her death was. So, now, come to find out, all of these are Mr. Vera's people, like housing. So, at that time, I didn't put it together. I didn't put two and two together. I was still concerned about why they didn't wake me up. I didn't even think Libera was involved in that. But I was concerned why they didn't wake me up if I'm sitting right there and let me know that she was on the verge of death. Because usually they wake you up if they end your family's period. They'll wake you up and let you be with them. But they didn't. So this was in 2011. My aunt left insurance in my name. So with the policy, with some stock she had, and some other things, it came out to about $10,000. So Mr. Vera made all the funeral arrangements. She told me what the insurance was. She told me what the stock. She told me it. I didn't know. She never let me see the paperwork or anything else. She told me what it was. So I let her go take care of the business because she did the same thing with my aunt. Ruby died. But see, when my aunt Ruby died, she told me that there was no insurance. That she had to pay her money to pay for Aunt Ruby's funeral. And I felt it was suspicious then, but this is my cousin. We're just like sisters. I have no reason to believe she was lying. We're like sisters. We go out her birthday the 14th, mine the 15th. We hang together all the time. We go out eating. We pray together. We play cards together. There's no reason I would suspect. Oh, sis, especially since she say, when I tell her something go wrong, she say, let's pray, let's pray. There was no reason for me to believe she was anything other than what I saw. So when my Aunt Ruby died, she said that there was no insurance and she had to pay out her pocket for some money. So we bought when my Aunt Sue died in 2011. We went to the funeral home. She made the arrangements. Then we went to the cemetery and we picked out a headstone for both of them. We each put up $400 and some to buy the headstones, and this was in 2011. The Vera put a $200 down payment on a credit card since we didn't have money with us at the time. But the contract was in my name. I was supposed to make the installment payments, so I had the contract in my name. And but she was supposed to get back with the people and make the arrangement, but the headstone down. 2000, and I would periodically I would ask. I said, "Well, where's Did you contact the people about Aunt Susan and Ruby headstone?" Oh yeah, I've been so busy. Yeah, I did this and I did that. I've been so busy. So uh, in July of this year, I was gonna barbecue, and I had my grill out there, set my grill up. And she came over and she said, "Well, Pearl," she said, "I got to paint the porch." They said they gonna find me if I don't paint the porch. So I said, "Well," she said, "I got to move the grill." I said, "Well, Vera, why would you do this on the 4th of July? You know people barbecue on the 4th of July. Why would you do this on the 4th of July?" And she says, because she was on work, so I had to move my grill. But it was so important. Ooh, it's hot in here. I'm here still cooking. She said it was important that she get that porch painted. Now, I moved my grill. I set it up. But I put, since I was the woman next door had hit me and swole my eye out. And I was still worried about them contaminating my food. I put my camera in the window so I can see whether they come in the yard and put some of my food. Now it was so important that she come and paint the porch on the 4th of July. Look, I had to move my grill. But is this porch painted? Nope. Where she painted was this. See this? She painted this part, down steps, and that. This railing here. So she painted just here and there. All of this, since you were so big a hurry, you had to get this done. All of this hasn't been painted. So why was that? Why was it necessary for me to move my grill on the 4th when this is all you painted right here and it still hasn't been painted? And you say you want to get a fine. Let me go turn it off because I got my chicken cooking. And all it has to take is some steam. But as you see, it wasn't really necessary for me to move that grill. And obviously she wasn't going to be fined. Let me get out of here. Obviously she wasn't going to be fined because the porch is still not painted. And that goes off every time I cook. It ain't nothing but steam. Ain't nothing burning. And that's why the fire department showed up for this very same reason. With all these fire trucks, just because of the steam. Everything's fine. It's just me cooking. And like last time, it ain't number steam. See, ain't none burning. Wow. Am I okay? You torturing me, but you want to know whether I'm okay. Oh, yeah. But, but, I'm gonna have to make a part. 3 of this. Let me go, because I had to go to the ladies' room. I'll be back.